video, I want to talk about how to create happiness for yourself as a human being. And so we're going to touch on some core principles here, but most importantly, true happiness is and should not be connected to external success and pleasures. It's really about cultivating a deep and peaceful understanding of the self. So again, I'm going to go through these key elements to creating your own roadmap to true, authentic happiness, step by step. So hopefully you enjoy this video. So most importantly, knowing yourself deeply is such an integral part of creating happiness in your own life. Now, a lot of people, especially in the modern technological era when we are posting all over Facebook and it's all about, showing off and what you have instead of authentic, deep understanding of the self, this can be quite common. So a lot of people will chase money, status, relationships, fancy things without really understanding what truly drives their own passion and who they are inside, what makes them feel alive, and what truly brings them joy. So you have to dig a little bit deeper and really figure out what excites your soul. And when you start to know yourself, when you start to come into communion with your own desires, your own core essence of your soul, this is when we really start to open up to finding, or really embark on that path of finding our own happiness. And some of the ways that we can do this, that really open that up, is things like journaling your thoughts, really checking in daily, what did I like in the day? What went well? What made me feel a sense of flow, a sense of passion? So writing, I've always used it my entire life. I've always done a lot of journaling. I find this a really, really effective tool for sorting out who you are and getting to know yourself. Write to yourself, okay? Write letters to yourself and monitor your emotions daily. So really check in with those, emotional, energetic patterns that we create as human beings. Now, spending time alone. This is something that a lot of individuals kind of miss the mark on nowadays. And when I mean spending time alone, I don't mean spending time on your device. So really getting to know yourself, you have to quiet all of the noise and you have to be with yourself and you have to think with yourself. So this is going into your internal world, checking in with yourself and really talking through things. That's what our inner dialogue is for. It's so that we have that true, authentic core self inside of us, that which is us, that is that feedback loop that we get to talk to and deliberate over and figure out, who are we? What is our soul all about? Okay, so that's another application of this. And aligning your life choices with your value and purpose. Okay, so you can have great values, you can have this idea of purpose, but if what you're doing in your life doesn't align with that, well, you're not really going to get very far down the path. So another example of this, if you really want to help animals, or you really want to be an environmentalist or a writer or somebody that creates music, but you're doing none of those things and you're partying and you're sleeping in and you're really not focused, well, you're not aligning your life choices at all with your passion and purpose. So again, really figuring out that alignment is key to deeply knowing yourself. Okay, so cultivating a positive mindset. I know I am a big advocate of this and I talk about it in a lot of my videos, but it's because it works. So the mind is the lens in which you experience your life, so it makes total sense to work on your mind, to work on your inner dialogue, okay? So training yourself to see the opportunities in hardship and the growth in failure. Now, my 3 take-homes from this are the daily practice of how you can cultivate these things within the mindset. So replacing all of those negative self-talk with empowering thoughts, mental dialogue, and beliefs is number 1. Now, practicing gratitude. all of the gurus talk about this, but it is so key, being thankful for what you already have. So making that list, I like the number 3, one of my favorite numbers. So just 3 little things that you can quickly jot down in that journal that I talked about in the earlier point, but what you're so grateful about today. You can always find things to be grateful for, okay? And then focus on all the things that you can control instead of the things that you cannot control. Because if you get the mind in a loop that is thinking in this sort of unraveling way about all the things that you do not have control over, you're going to feel disempowered and you're going to feel frustrated and irritated and like you have no power. So what you need to do is make sure that you focus on all the things that you can adjust, change, work with, that actually are within your power. If they're not, leave it to God, let it go, and truck along with your day. So that is, again, my number 2 thing for creating happiness in your world. So this is a little bit about your external world in terms of your happiness. Nurture meaningful relationships. This means pick people that are good for your life and are going to further you along your path with your values and your passions, okay? And happiness is amplified when it is shared. When you can share all of the exciting, amazing things in your life with those that you love, that are your cheerleaders. I actually was talking to a group of students in our business building the other day about pick your cheerleaders wisely, because you want to surround yourself with those people that are lifting you up and telling you that you're amazing and that you're going to succeed. Stay away from the people that are basically trying to pull you down. A lot of times those individuals really are not in a good place and they're not in a position to, help boost you to where you're headed. It's not that those people are bad. It's just, you got to pick your cheerleaders. You have to know your team. Okay. And as it works out with people on the external, arena of your life, quality over quantity. Pick the good ones. You don't have to have a lot of them. It's not like a race of how many followers, how many friends you have. Just have the right quality ones that love you and boost you up and are your cheerleaders, okay? The depth over surface level connections, because surface level, what is it going to do for you? Those are your ride or die people. They're not the ones that are going to be with you when you really need it. So again, quality over quantity with those meaningful relationships. This is what's going to bring you happiness. Now, being fully present with those that you love. We've all been through it. You are sitting with somebody, they're on their phone, they're fucking around essentially, and they're not giving you very much of their actual authentic energy. Well, that's going to make you irritated and it's going to make you feel devalued. So make sure that when you're interacting with those people in your life, you give them 100% of your true, full, in the moment energy. Look into their eyes, be there, get excited about what they're talking about, really listen to what they're saying and provide a response that's caring. Give a shit about what they're saying. So important. And this is going to make you happy. And when you arrange your relationships in this way, that's going to be mirrored back to you. So really taking that into account as a factor. Okay. One of my favorite items on this list for happiness is give more than you take. When you are always giving and you're not in a taking energy, you feel really good about yourself. You feel like you're being in service of others, and you always are in a position where you're in a positive reserve. When we're a taker, when we're taking too much, when we're siphoning off others, it's not a really good feeling. So we always want to be in that position where we are giving more. I have a mantra that I use myself. I always want to leave any individual in a better state than when I found them. That's energetically, that's inspirationally, that's anything that I can do with my aura, with my energy to leave their life a little better. Now, certainly I have boundaries, that I'm not ridiculous with this. If somebody's totally running amok and just causing me a whole bunch of problems, I do have tough love. I do put the hammer down and say, hey, you gotta leave my life. It's not working, but I do it in a gentle way. And it's not, to say that that person isn't a quality person. They are just, moving along their path, and they might be at a little bit of a snail's pace in terms of aligning their values and principles and getting into the right space. So I'm not afraid to cut those people off. Remember, quality people over quantity, but really, again, with that, leaving those individuals that you love, never taking too much, and giving them a lot of value when you are stepping into their arena as well. Because again, it's going to be mirrored back to you. Okay, another element of making yourself happier, creating that happiness, is living a life of purpose and passion, okay? Because a life without purpose or passion, even when you're chasing money and success, if it's not really purposeful, if it's just to accumulate, you're going to feel empty. That's why a lot of these really wealthy people end up doing drugs, end up miserable, end up having all of these affairs. It's because they're not living with purpose and passion. And we see it all the time in Hollywood. All these people, they're running, into a brick wall because they really don't know who they are. They get all of this success, this money, but they're not managing it from a truly aligned placement, okay? They haven't been diligent with creating that element of knowing themselves, what they need, what their passion are. I'm not saying everybody's like that. I'm just saying we have examples out there that we can all look to of, people that maybe haven't dug deep with what their passion and purpose is. So my 3 top things in terms of your purpose: do what you love doing so much that you lose track of time. So you'll know that when you are engaging in an activity that is truly aligned with your soul, you're going to just do it and you are going to lose track of time. That's the flow state. You're just going to be immersed in loving what you do. So that's probably something fairly well aligned with your core soul purpose and what you are here to create. Now, second one, basically making the world a better place in even small ways. I love doing this. Smiling at somebody at the grocery store, helping with that door, just being friendly, kind, sneaking a little gift into somebody's bag, doing whatever you can to make the world a better place, picking up that piece of garbage, whatever it is, that is going to make you feel really purposeful. It's going to give you a sense that you're making a difference, and the small things add up. It's just like compound interest. Compound acts of kindness create a better world when we're all doing those small little things, okay? And then look at what gifts you have and what skills you have, and how could you utilize those things to serve the world, to make the world a better place. I know one of my big skills is teaching, and I love speaking, I love empowering people, I love sharing knowledge, and that's part of what I'm doing with this. It's something that can serve others. It's something that's some guidance and help. So it's something I'm putting into my effort into, and I can lose myself when I'm doing it, when I'm speaking or teaching. I'm just, in that other zone. So I know that's something that I'm living with purpose and I'm living with passion when I am doing that. Is of course so related to happiness is care of your body and mind, okay? When we are physically healthy, we feel good. And when we are not physically healthy, it doesn't matter how rich, how much resources we have, how many resources we have, you're not going to feel happy. We've all had a flu. You can't really feel happy when you're, feverish and achy and fatigued, okay? So keeping your health in order is definitely one of the aspects to having that great life. So eating nourishing foods that are going to fuel your energy. I am predominantly vegan. I found my whole life changed when I migrated to this awesome way of eating. I also find that it completely aligns with my passion for the environment, the biosphere, protecting nature. So it's a really great double benefit for me because it aligns directly with my belief system, okay? And also exercise, moving. So dancing, stretching, going for a walk in nature, anything that you can do to move is going to make you feel happier. Plus, you get all of these great neurochemicals that your body produces, endorphins, etc., etc., etc. When you are moving, your blood is actually full of oxygen, which gives you more energy. So there's 100 bazillion benefits from it, okay? I don't have to go on and on. Now, prioritizing your sleep and relaxation. Sleep is so important to your mental equilibrium, okay? You don't want to overdo it. This is why drinking, drugs, partying, all those things mess up your rhythm, okay? And it's all about having this balance and rhythm. So I prefer to just get up every day and feel super high vibrational, keeping my body in check, and then I always really have this calm set point of my happiness, okay? When we are engaging in negative behaviors, our set point is lower and lower and lower in terms of, where we are just residing at our baseline happiness. And this is where people will often fall into depression because they've pushed their baseline existence so low that they have to take something just to get them up to a normal level, whether it is a drug or drinking or whatever, or else they're escaping, okay? So we don't want to get to that point. Keep your body vibrating at a very high level, keep your happiness set point really high, and then your highs are even higher, which is even more amazing, okay? So when something really happens and your set point of your happy equilibrium is high, then when something really awesome happens, it's even higher. So really, really cool aspect of keeping that body healthy, energized, moving, and at its top performance. Okay, another element of happiness is living in the present moment, okay? So important to just be present. And this is going to really correlate to looking for those small pleasures, whether it is a warm cup of tea, in a cozy blanket, being mindful, slowing down with others, taking time to just enjoy the presence of your grandparents, really holding your mom's hand when you go to dinner, helping her on the street, just connecting with others, just living in that present moment. Also, living in the present, one of the powerful steps of doing this is that you can let go of regrets and past resentments and fears. Because when we're always trying to bring yourself back to the present, not sliding back into what may have been negative that has happened in the past, and not being fearful of the future, okay? Again, sometimes when we're ruminating in what may or may not happen, we slide our consciousness into the future and we project a negative outcome that we really have no idea whether that is going to happen or not. And I call this what if thinking, okay? What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this person doesn't do this? What if this person doesn't like me? What if, I can't make my bills? All of these what ifs disable the action focus of the present moment, and that's you're doing yourself such a disservice, and you're feeling miserable. So when we're looking at that path to happiness, don't project fear or don't project any negativity onto the future. Just anticipate good things will roll out for you, and don't slide back into the past and be pissed off, frustrated, angry, bitter, you name it. Just let go of all of that and move yourself into loving energy, okay? And then savor the small things, laughter, engagement, a walk, your friends. I mean, there's so many things to be positive about. Your healthy body, your youth, or your old age, because you've lived this amazing kick-ass life with so many different dynamic aspects to it, okay? So there's always things that we can reflect on that can bring us into that vibration of joy and happiness, okay? So choosing love over fear. Every choice you make in life is either based on love or based in fear. Fear keeps you small, you're hesitant, you're disconnected, and love expands you, empowers you, and makes your life meaningful, but not just meaningful, joyful, okay? So whenever you're unsure, ask, am I choosing this because of fear or love? What is my highest happiness in terms of myself and the situation? Always asking ourselves those questions when we are confronted with anything in our daily life. So I'm going to wrap this video up, but really truly wishing you an abundance of happiness, joy, and high vibrational energy.